minute to realize she was being followed. A man crossed the street with a larger group, then quickened his pace and fell in behind her. "Sister Miriam?" "Yes, brother?" She stopped and turned to get a better look. He had a beard and a strong face. "Turn around. Keep walking." "Thou sayest." She turned and ducked her head, wishing she could have studied him for a second longer. "You are obedient, sister. A woman who will obey her husband as he obeys the Lord." "The park opposite the bank, near the bandstand." Since she couldn't turn, she instead watched the expressions of the other people on the sidewalk as they glanced first at her and then at the man walking behind her shoulder. Did they judge her? Feel sorry for her? Wonder if she was some guy's fifth wife? Haley hadn't known the first thing about Mormons until a few weeks earlier. Her mother was a lapsed Episcopalian. Her father listed his religion as none of the above. Her religious education had consisted of the Bible lessons you picked up from a talking cucumber and tomato on VeggieTales. Okay, so she'd had a few unflattering stereotypes of Mormons in mind. She'd unlearned those once she'd come to Salt Lake and met a few Mormons. Decent people, like most anyone else. She'd unlearned her prejudices and then been forced to relearn new ones in order to cultivate the proper attitude of one of the elect toward one of the fallen. Mormonism itself had an interesting history, filled with angels, miracles, martyrs, rebellion against the government, strange beliefs, and even stranger practices. The mainstream church had moderated over the years and now cultivated a buffed and polished image of the freshly scrubbed missionaries, of wholesome celebrities like David Archuleta, Steve Young, the Osmonds, and incorruptible politicians, Mitt Romney, Senators McKay and Reid. Maybe that's why the apostate Mormons hated the tens of thousands of polygamists living in their midst, reminded them of their own messy past, an embarrassment. It didn't fit the high fructose corn syrup message they fed visitors to Temple Square in Salt Lake. Haley waited at the crosswalk for the light to change, then made her way toward the park on the opposite side. The man's hand touched her shoulder as she reached the far curb. "Here," he said. "Stop here." Haley turned again, tried to keep her face blank, innocent. Who would he be? Her future husband? She blinked in surprise. She'd seen his picture during her studies. Brother Timothy, the self-styled prophet of the Church of the Last Days, a splinter sect. A young man with a beard and intense eyes, dressed in a white shirt and black vest in the picture, almost like an Amish farmer on his way to church. No Amish today, but simply jeans with a long-sleeved shirt that could have come out of a Land's End catalog, and younger than she'd thought, better looking. No, not good looking, so much as interesting to look at. His lips were red and full, almost obscenely sensuous, the kind that women hoped for when they pumped their lips full of collagen. His nose was on the large side and slightly crooked, maybe broken at one time. He had a strong, determined jaw that the beard accentuated rather than concealed, and the eyes, even more intense than in his photo. Haley was taken aback by that intensity now as he studied her, seemed to peel away her layers. Even wearing so many clothes, she felt underdressed. In Malibu, she'd barely worn anything at all. Ramirez and his friends groped her whenever and wherever they felt the urge. And if Ramirez wanted her, he felt free to bend her over, hike up her miniskirt, and do her. She was a dirty, filthy slut who asked no better, deserved no better. So why did she feel more unclean now, more sexual? Haley was used to men checking her out. It was what she expected now, but as penetrating as she found his gaze, there was none of that in Brother Timothy's expression. He lay his hand possessively on her wrist, and she didn't pull away. No, it wasn't his lust that made her feel dirty. It was her lust. No wonder he had 10 wives. God, she needed to wake up. This was as dangerous in its own way as that business with Ramirez, and she'd better stay awake, or things would go wrong in a hurry. "Brother Timothy," she said, "I thought I was supposed to meet